If your desire is a 10, but your self-image is a 5, you will never get your desires. You will never outperform your self-image. Your desire actually has to align with your what's called a deserve level, right? What you think you are worth, your worthiness, your self-worth. Your deserve has to align with your desire because you're never going to outperform your self-image. I'm going to tell you one thing when it comes to getting your desires, getting what you want, and knowing you are good enough and knowing that you deserve to have all these amazing things. Life is not fair. You do not get what you deserve in life. You get what you think you deserve. Nothing more and nothing less. Welcome back to Create Your Fate. I'm Coach Meg Ellis, here to tell you the number one most important message you will ever hear. And it's this: you are good enough. You are smart enough. You are pretty enough because you are enough. And I just want to start out this episode by just taking a little pause, and wherever you are, if you're driving in your car, if you're in the office, just say it out loud, even if it's just a whisper, or if you're in a place where you can't speak out loud, just even take some time and think it to yourself, but just say it to yourself. I am enough. And I want you to just analyze and take a moment and figure out how that felt to say it. I am enough. And one thing I see in coaching a lot, and I have personally struggled with myself, is not really feeling connected to that, right? I want to believe it, but I don't really believe it. And I'm going to break down why it doesn't actually feel authentic when you say, I'm good enough, right? And especially if you're someone who maybe is new to personal development, it really might feel super, super foreign to feel like you are enough. And I want you to just start to think about everything that you desire in life. All the things that you want, whether they be material things, experiences that you want to have, relationships, all these amazing things that you want in life, that you desire. And that thought of, I'm not enough, I don't deserve this, it might kick in when you start thinking about all of these amazing things that you want. And one of my favorite quotes, it comes from John C. Maxwell. He says, if your desire is a 10, but your self-image is a 5, you will never get your desires. You will never outperform your self-image. So your life will be a 5. And that's where that miss is off. And we've been talking a lot about alignment on the show. And what happens is your desire actually has to align with your what's called a deserve level, right? What you think you are worth, your worthiness, your self-worth. Your deserve has to align with your desire because you're never going to outperform your self-image. And there's a lot that goes into self-image of feeling, hey, I do deserve all these amazing things in life. I am enough to get it. I'm going to tell you one thing when it comes to getting your desires, getting what you want, and knowing you are good enough and knowing that you deserve to have all these amazing things. And it's this, and it's going to come off a little brash at first, but life is not fair. And when I say that, you're probably like, how is that helping me actually get what I want, get what I desire? Because I'm going to tell you this, life is not fair. You do not get what you deserve in life. You get what you think you deserve. Nothing more and nothing less. So if I want all these amazing things, but I only think I deserve some of those amazing things in life are never going to be yours because your deserve level does not align with your desires. Your self-image, your worthiness, your self-worth, your self-love, right? All these things, your view of yourself, you have to start there. And if you've tuned in the last couple episodes, we've been really just talking about alignment and starting with your beliefs. It's not starting about all these actions. Oh, I have to do this to deserve something. I have to do this to feel worthy and valuable. And that is a big farce that we can struggle with as humans when it comes to self-worth, because we tie worthiness to external factors, right? A very common way that we feel a high self-worth or this high deserve level is when we tie our worthiness to success, right? That kind of makes a lot of sense. Hey, I get the A in the class, I feel really good. I get an F and I don't feel good. I have a successful business, I feel really good, right? What happens is that is something that is external. Your success is actually not who you are, has absolutely nothing to do with your essence and your internal inherent worthiness and value, your essence. It has absolutely everything to do with outside of you. It is external. And if you're like, no, I earned this, I deserve this, I worked really hard to get that A or to grow my business. All I'm telling you is those things, if you tie your worthiness to success, those things can be ripped away from you. I mean, take COVID, right? How many businesses failed just because of a global pandemic, right? It had nothing to do with the internal value of that person who grew the successful business, right? Any success can be taken away from you, and that makes it external, which also makes it really rocky, right? One tip that you can do is define success not at the end, but at the beginning. What if you just redefine success as going for it, right? Because a lot of people, if I go for something and I'm not successful and I fail, then I have poor self-image because I failed. And failure keeps people stuck in this small, same complacent box that they've never been in, right? It keeps their self-image low because I'm not going after my desires. I'm not going for that 10. Let me just stay. You know what? I even want to stay at a 4 because what if I fail on my way to 5, right? It keeps us stuck. We fear failure and thinking that it's actually going to make us feel less valuable and value ourselves less. So we're going to redefine success. So if you are someone who is success driven and you tie your worthiness to success, ultimately I want you to know that you are inherently valuable and inherently worthy. But on the way to get there, because it is a journey, I want you to simply just redefine success. Success is not being the best at something. It's not getting the perfect A or having the best this, that, or whatever. Success is just simply going for it. How would your life change if you redefine success as simply going for it? Because the fear of failure keeps people at a 0, right? I'm not even going to do it, right? So my odds of success are actually 0 because I'm not going to go for it. This thing that is for me, my big desire, I'm not even going to go for it because I might fail on the way. So your odds are, I'm 100% not going to get this. It's the start line. It's not the finish line. Just simply going for it. Then your odds automatically get better than 0 if you might get it. Even if it's a 1% or 10% chance of being successful at it, it's better than 0. So redefine success as simply going for it and give yourself some credit, right? Another way that our self-worth can kind of get diminished and we don't feel good enough is when we tie worthiness to love, right? Those external relationships. I feel valuable in my family because I have a family that loves me, or if I'm in this romantic relationship that's super, super happy, that is another external thing that can easily get ripped away from you, right? And so shifting into yourself, right? Who you are as a person, just me, right? And that's a scary thought. It is, because it feels like a lot of pressure. Because now if I know my worthiness is all on me, oh my gosh, all I'm going to do, my mind is automatically going to go to this big, big picture. Look at all these things, right? I'm at a 5 right now, or I have so many things that I have to do to get all these desires, right? There's so many things, I'm not even close. And we start to imagine this person who is at this 10, right? We're sitting at a 5 because our worthiness and our self-worth and our deserve level is kind of crappy. So we start to see this person at this 10 level, and this person seems really overwhelming. I can't even identify with that person. Wow, there's so many steps that I have to do to even get to that person who's in this picture. Stop imagining a version of you that does not exist yet, right? In this big picture, right? Of where you want to be. And all I'm going to do is just ask you to simply remember who you already are. A lot of times we are so forward focused, thinking about all the things that we have not done, that we actually forget to remember, oh, I actually have done all these steps already. So just take a moment and realize, am I somebody who sees everything that I want in the future? Am I identifying with somebody who is on that first step, looking at the 10,000 steps I have to take to get to where I want? Or can I shift my thoughts and remember what you have already done? And look downwards on this staircase that you're standing on. You are not on step one. You're actually, halfway up, right? Or maybe you're at least 3 steps up. It doesn't matter, but you have already done something. What have you done? What are you proud of? Can you just start to think of what I am proud of? Well, when I start to think about it and I force myself into thinking, okay, I have to come up with one thing that I am proud of. Okay, I'm proud of this. It was a little small, but it led to this, and I guess I'm proud of that too. And you start to shift your thoughts, not on all these things that you haven't done, but all these things that you have done. And while you're focused on what you're proud of, why not focus on what you're celebrating too, right? What can you celebrate about your journey so far? And let me remind you that it feels good to feel good. We just forget to feel good because we're so focused on all these things that we haven't done yet that it actually stunts our self-worth, so we're never going to get there anyway. The fastest way to get where you want to go is to be proud and celebrate the things that you've already done and get your self-worth up, right? So you raise your self-worth and then the rest of the steps just follow. It is not the other way around. We're going to shift everything internally. We're not going to be chasing success. We're not going to be chasing love. We're not going to be chasing these external relationships. We're going to take everything in. We're going to remember who we are. And when you remember who you are, then you can remember who you want to be in integrity with, right? Because a lot of times people with poor self-worth constantly seek approval from others. I know, and I've talked about this on the show before, but I was ruled by seeking approval from others, thinking that that would validate me and I would feel better about myself. There's this really awesome quote when it comes to how you view yourself. It goes like this: I'm not who I think I am. I'm not who you think I am. I am who I think you think I am. And if you have to rewind that and listen to that again, I know it's a little trippy, listen to it. I'm not who I think I am. I'm not who you think I am. I am who I think you think I am. And so what happens is we start to stray away from who we are, right? All those things that we're proud of, all the things that we're celebrating, we start to stray away from that person when we seek approval from others because we think that that external validation, again, external can be taken from you at any minute, is going to make us feel better and our self-worth will go up. And I'm telling you, it has to be inside. You have to remember who you are, and then you have to stay authentic to that person. Every time you say yes when you want to say no because you're trying to get somebody's approval or you're trying to get success or love or whatever it is, you're straying from your authenticity. So you have to hold that integrity with yourself. And if you have not even remembered who you are, what you've already done, what you're celebrating and feeling good about that person, then if you never think about that person, who am I really? What do I really want? Just me, even if I had to tell nobody. Who am I if I don't have the success or if I don't have this relationship? Who am I and what have I already done? Then you're never going to be able to stay authentic and with integrity with that person. And that is what plummets your self-worth, is when you are out of integrity with yourself, when you are living life as your inauthentic self. That is where your poor self-worth comes into play. So we're going to shift it from external to internal. And I have a brand new digital course. The link is in the show notes. It talks about how I can shift my thoughts from negative self-talk to positive self-talk. And guess what? It has nothing to do with anybody else but yourself. So check that out. That's all I got for you today. I hope this helped. Of course, I'm going to leave you with just one thing. It is this: expect good things always, and they will happen.